Hi amigos, welcome back to the Evolving Trader. I am back with the same energy for you. So let's start this video. Today I am showing you like how in today's trade of HDFC Bank I have made close to 100 rupees, which is 1.5% return on my capital which I use. So let me explain the trade. Actually the plan which I was planning first in my post market analysis was like this was kind of a W pattern in formation, and if it completes I would enter here for a bullish trade. But the market opened gap down because of the Nasdaq and sleeping and so reasons and war scenarios. Then after opening gap down after pre-market session of 9/7, I planned this position that 1400 is around level, and if below this swing it comes, like I can show it on daily candle. If you will see here, let me just clear these things. This was a doji type of candle like this one, if you can see clearly. So under, if it would have broken the low of doji candle, it would have been a great trade according to price action. So I planned this trade in the morning and market opened more gap down than that. So I had like 3 to 4 stocks and I didn't got a great entry according to a great stop loss and great risk management, because before getting my targets I first see my stop loss and the space market has to move. Now that trade plan which I planned here was also because here was a gap pending, and according to my stop loss, according to this target and the gap, my risk reward of 1:2 was easily getting fulfilled, which is my minimum criteria to take any stock for the day. So it opened more gap down and I researched in my other stocks which I shortlisted, but there wasn't any great entry, and the great sign which I saw here was this candle. Like this was a candle which it formed, a first 15-minute candle, and it was like a very good trade for me. So what my plan was thereafter, like here is the low of the candle, and once the inside candle is formed and it breaks, I'll take the trade. So the reason here why I was waiting for one more candle is because if I have to put my stop loss here at this high according to the strategy and technical analysis, it won't be a good risk reward trade. As you can see, if I would have put a stop loss this big, I won't even get 1:2, right? It's very far. So I waited for one more candle to get one more low, and as you can see, just a minute, I got one more low here. So I put my stop loss on this candle low, and immediately when this break, my half quantity entered in the trade. I'll show you this how I planned it, and to keep it safe, like I have refreshed it and you can see I've booked my 101.8 and executed. Yeah, these 4 are cancelled orders. Like there was a bit of indecision which I will talk about it. So you can see here my first order was placed at 9:47. As you can see, all 9:47 sell HDFC Bank MIS means intraday order 4 quantity. Like my quantity size for this was 7 quantities. So this is where at 9:47, as you can see, when it crossed, I put my half quantity in the order. As soon as this candle closed this way, I entered my full quantity. Like I saw here as 1380 is a good level to get entered other quantity, and like ideally you should continue your quantities below here, but anyways it got triggered, and yeah, that was a kind of a mistake, but like to keep my average good, and it was like showing the things, and bank nifty was also in this way down. So on 1380 you can see this is SBI and it's cancelled. Okay, you can see it clearly. I planned the trade the way, yeah, I'll explain that. Like if market goes bullish from here, where is SBI, just a minute. Like my plan was this candle, Like in HDFC Bank, the first 15 minutes was red and showing a bearishness and inside candle. The same plan I planned here, like if it crosses this high, this low will be my stop loss, and I will plan for a target of 1:2, and there was sufficient gap for it. And so I put my SLM order, which didn't get triggered, and market came down. Like it was in a very indecisive state at first 15 minutes, so I put it in both of these orders. Like you can see, they were at the almost same time. So I said which one will get triggered, I'll go with the direction, and if market goes in that direction, hopefully we will make some money and learn many things. Of course, the account size is pretty small, so the main intention here is learning, not earning. So my order in HDFC Bank got triggered and SBI never got triggered. And sometimes it also can happen that your order in SBI also get triggers and HDFC Bank also get triggered. So if it's going in a good direction and you can manage two trades at a time, which I don't do personally, so you can continue the trade, and if you want you can exit one which is against the market direction. Because if the indices from which I select this stock, I'll make another video on it. If the indices of stocks which are main through which these are driven, if they are going in the same direction, you can continue this trade. So I continued this trade for a reason. And like bank nifty at that time, let me show you. Nifty wasn't that bearish at that time, but bank nifty was also decent. Like this candle was formed when my only half quantity was in the market. Then when this low crossed, I also entered my full quantity in the stock, and the index give me a much better confirmation. But after this week was made, there was a bit of indecision, and the same thing happened in the stock as well. As you can see, it's HDFC Bank, so it depends a lot on bank nifty. So this candle was made, and I was a bit hesitated. Like in February month was a bit difficult for me, because many trades which I had planned, the market will open gap up and gap down. It follows Nasdaq and US markets a lot to gap up and gap down opening. Like I can't say clearly the reason, but whenever the US market falls a lot, our market opens gap down and we don't even get a great trade and big moves. Like first time when the war was announced, everyone was planning for a big move, but the market opened gap down and the half move was done in it. So like we need a Atmanirbhar, Sensex and Nifty. Like these slogans are running these days, and it's funny. So things apart, then it came for a great sell off, a pullback, which makes a move much better. This took a pause. Here it was trying to make a W pattern and go up, but it didn't and continued it. Now here I want to explain one more thing. Like you can see this buy order 6 quantity complete, whereas my trade was of 7 quantities. So my 1:2 stop loss was hitted, means I was able to achieve my 1:2 stop loss on 1367.45. So like what happened, the trade I took in ICICI, my 1:2 was satisfied. I was going through losing streak and I missed that also. So for psychological reasons, I booked my 1:2 at 1367.45, and I kept one quantity running in the market. And further, it didn't move much. Like it was open already, you can see it was a big like 1.7 to 2% gap down. So there is not any issue in holding in it much and expecting much more, because at the stage where my 1:2 was achieved, which on this candle my profit was booked of 6 quantities. And at that time, like it was already moved 4%, and when it was here at like 1361 or 62, let me see, it was already 5% down. So it is too much expected from a stock to move. Like a stock averagely moves 2.5-3%, which you should expect. These are some days which are good, like you should trade, but you shouldn't expect some unrealistic results and all. So like at 1361.5, I saw that I am getting a good profit of 101.8, and I have achieved my risk reward of 1:2 as well. So I booked my profit completely. I have kept this one quantity to run in market, but what happened is I'll explain you here. At here, when my uh, trade was running, what happened here is I saw, and it was a round level of 35,000 on bank nifty, and a W pattern was made, and there was a great chances after this that it can get reversed, because this 35,000 level was very crucial for the market to hold. As you can see, if it would have break this level and gave a closing below it, you would have got a great sell off till here, and which would have made things difficult for many people. So as you can see, it didn't close, and there was a potential in that level to make a reversal. So I exited my trade and booked my profit. So here a W pattern was formed and I exited it. So that's it, how I managed my trade. Now usually I don't book my complete profits like in this manner, like 6 quantity booked and 1 quantity running, but I wanted to see just how it goes. Like, I know I won't have holded it much more seeing this price action. I would have booked my profits, and that's for sure, because for psychological reasons it sometimes happens. If you are in a winning trade and you have earned much, and you can like give it to the market as a tuition fee, but here actually your account is in a different state, so due to some different openings, so you can do this and book your profits. So I just kept that one quantity, and I know that it won't be a great move, but uh, it's a rare probability that it will be a great move, and if it goes, then it's great. My one quantity will do it. So that's it. I saw a profit of 100 rupees, and like it's a century for me with my account size. So I booked it, and all you can see here as learning perspective is how to uh, do your position sizing. Like, if this candle would have gone down and came up again and become an hammer at the same time, like market was in the indecisive state, so I'd hit a stop loss of half quantity, and my trade on SBI would have got activated instead of this. And if it gives closing, then it will be go full quantity. You have to see this, that market always give you time to enter and exit. If some people would have exited here, they got sufficient time to exit. And there was a potential that market was trying to form a W pattern here, but as soon as it put a fresh low, this one, the chances were less, but they were at the end. So like, people got time to book their profit of 1:2 if someone would have entered here. So market always gives time to enter and exit. You have to remember this thing. Like, this was my buying level, and you can see I got sufficient 15 to 20 minutes to enter, decide, and how much quantity to enter and how much quantity not to. And if some days like this happens, it generally happens that your buying order it trigger your half quantity and market moved this much. Like, you feel bad that you are half quantity, but actually you should feel good, because if this goes reverse and make a hammer, which I have seen many times on the indecisive dates, like market is on do or die stage, then these things happens, and it really aren't that good. So if you are half quantity on these things, it's much better. Some days it will give a close as well here, but if it doesn't, then what? So you first should follow your position sizing and risk management, then think of profits. If you will book your losses and see your risk first, then only you will sustain. Otherwise, if I go back and see all my trades where my stop loss was hitted, if I wouldn't have taken that stop loss today, I won't even would have my account how much it is. So that's the fact, that you have to first preserve your capital and then let your winners run if they have pretty much potential, direction and space to go. And like, you may have a question, like your plan was from here you will go bullish, and at the same time you are not following your trading plan. So see, that's a downside as well for some time. but my psychology was like good today, so I took it. Like it was a gap down, I knew, but if this candle crosses, and the main thing which attracted me was this big volume. Like if I'll zoom it out, you can see not that much big volume one since 12 January 2022. Like since 2 months there wasn't any big volume. So if this big volume is entered, like some big players have entered or whatsoever be, so it made me more confident that if it's still gap down, at least I can go for 1:2. And so I went for it. There was a price action. I got a place to make my stop loss small. If this candle immediately would have broken, maybe I would be half quantity, or I would plan something different. But as I got a small stop loss, a great entry, a good volume sign, and as well as at the same time it was a doji candle on daily time frame. So like every time frame is with me. Potentially it would have reversed also, that's not an issue, but every time frame was with me, and I booked my profits at the end here. And it was a good profit, at least seeing my account size and the way I executed this trade. Like this is a really good improvement in me in past times. Like if it would have, like what happens when I was initially a month ago, this candle would have go and it starts going, I feel like, oh, it's going, I have to enter. But now this doesn't happen that frequently. Yeah, it happens, but not that much. So that's a great part of it. And so I manage my risk nicely, and I got some reward from the market for that. So that's it. That's all I wanted to explain. So thank you so much for your valuable time. If you loved and find something valuable to learn, and maybe some mistake you did today or you did in past was pretty much similar, so please make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel, and keep supporting, because like I'm in a beginner stage of trading and nobody shows this. Like I don't even know I'm a profitable, I'll be here, and what, like my intention is to be here, but in this beginner stage also, like I am transparently showing you everything. So I think you should like the motto of the channel and support it if you're liking it. And you have been here so far, please like, share and subscribe to the channel and support to the channel. We are in a growing channel, and if I see some great results, I'll bring some great content for you as well, because if I'll get things done pretty much nicely, I'll bring it for you, and that's for sure. So thank you so much for your valuable time again. Thank you. Bye.